Hi there, guys, and welcome to our 36th Geeky-Chat, alongside my co-host Malcolm of May to December, and tonight's guest is Gareth Archer of Plonker88. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing good, thanks.
Yeah? Been enjoying your Saturday so far? I mean, you've not long been up, have you, Malcolm?
I woke up early for the chat and then realised fucking Doctor Who was on, so I'm not bothered. So that was interesting. I got up thinking, shit, I'm going to miss the chat. Come down the stairs, got on the computer, then I went, where is it? Why not I had the thing? Looked up TV Guide, which I always do when you're not on, and saw Doctor Who and then saw it was the final part. So I was like,
Yes, the last part of a two-parter episode.
was it any good?
Yeah, I guess it has its flaws. I mean, the Master has come back as a female.
Yeah, I think that's BS, to be honest, but yeah. Oh, go.
Um,
But
and
what?
there's just a whole lot of different stuff going on. I got quite confused with, to be honest with you. I mean, Clara has this new like boyfriend in it, and he became a Cyberman, and
Oh,
he sort of died and went to sort of where the went to his afterlife, and then in this part he became a Cyberman, and he sort of because
so he went to Man.
their emotions are supposed to completely go away. Where's he gone?
I never guessed the Cyberman had emotions.
Yeah, the Clara's boyfriend had the emotions when he
So
was
basically, they copied the Dalek one where the Dalek had emotions, but they put in a Cyberman this time. Right.
yeah, so mixed feelings. Um, it was okay, but a bit yeah as well. The preview of the Christmas special looks interesting though. It
Uh,
has it has Nick Frost as Father Christmas.
oh, nice. I think Clara leaves at Christmas.
She's left it already. She left it on tonight's episode.
You know, that's gutting because that was the only reason I was going to watch the show. Because she's gone now, I'm going to ignore it and act like it never existed.
Was Gareth gone?
It got cut off, I think. There he
Yeah.
is. So,
Hey,
Welcome back.
Keith.
So, did you see the Doctor Who episode, Gareth?
Not the.
Not tonight.
hello, is anybody there?
I'm here.
Okay, I think Gareth froze.
I can see his hands moving around.
What's he doing? Anyway, so you like my out and about video then?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Oh, it was. Look, oh, it's gone again. Oh no, you sent it's back. Okay. Um. So yeah, it was interesting.
It was just good to see you both out together doing your shopping on a video.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do a lot more with them. You know.
It looks like she enjoyed doing that kind of video as well.
Did you know? I actually thought she wouldn't, but she really enjoyed it, and I'm really glad.
Only because that she's stopped doing the reviews, that's all.
Well, she said she might start doing some reviews again, so that'd be nice.
It looks like she's got some good anime stuff.
Yeah,
She loves that, don't she?
she does. She loves her anime.
What about you? Do you like any anime?
I do like anime, but I think it's really expensive.
Hmm.
But Don always picks them up at a bargain price when she sees them in the store.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have recorded in Best Buy and Half Price Books, but the problem is they don't let you.
Yeah, you gotta be careful sometimes.
You know, I think like Brendan Mitchell, they get away with it because they use like an iPhone. Because I've got a proper camera, I think obviously it's more noticeable, isn't it? So. But
Can
it
you
was,
guys have
what's that?
Can you hear us now?
I can hear you.
Let me go if I can't hear him.
Hello?
Hello?
Brilliant. Don't you love technology sometimes?
Yeah. So my video, do you enjoy my out and about?
I did until the bit where you called me a liar.
What?
The bit with the intro thing.
Oh, right. Yeah, it's just what she said. I didn't know what to think.
I said in the chat, I said, but I made it on a program, and you said, did Sketchly make it? And sarcastically, I said, yeah, she did. Sarcastically.
I thought you meant it. That's why I went off and asked her.
Because Alex was in the chat, and it was, what do you call it? But, you know, you got to realise, it's at the end of the day, it's up to Tash if she wants to make anything, so you got to just be patient.
Anyway, I went onto a website. I made myself one today.
Yeah, and then showed everybody where you got it from. You can't do that, James, because then everybody has the same bloody intro as you.
Yeah, but then they got different ones on there that you can go for. People can go for.
I don't want to sound horrible to people. If you find something, you found it. It's okay to share with people who you're close with if you want, but don't share it with the whole universe, otherwise you ain't got that unique thing anymore. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
So you got to be careful with what you show. Otherwise, you'll have like a new intro, and then it won't be as special because everybody else can get one.
Yeah, but they probably add different text to it and stuff.
Sure, but that's not the point. The point is, if you've shown off what you got, and now people get it, people going to go, oh yeah, I've seen that multiple times on YouTube already from other people. So his intro's not as special as it would have been if he hadn't told people.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a bit of advice, that's all.
Yeah. Can you hear us now? Everything's like a silent movie on his side.
Yeah, I just wish it was fixed. Anyway, so what do you want to talk about, James? Let's let Gav just do what he's doing to try and get back in the chat and talk, and we'll talk between us till he can get it sorted.
Yeah.
Camera.
Oh, is he back? So you like Ouija, did you? Luigi?
Yeah.
You know what? I warned you not to go and see that movie because it was absolutely horrendous.
Well, you didn't like it. I thought the effects were cool. I thought the jump scares was amazing.
And everybody said it was the worst movie they'd ever seen, yet you went and saw it. I bet you didn't even watch the movie.
Yeah, I did.
Alright, tell me what happened in it.
There's a girl on it that she dies when she's playing with a Ouija board, and then when the other friends find out what happened to her, they start to try and talk to her using the Ouija board, but then they get caught up in other stuff, and which I thought was really interesting.
Sounds cliched to me. But then that's what every horror movie is, isn't it? I watched some reviews on it, and everybody said it was the worst film they'd ever seen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, James, don't. I prayed, please, James, don't go and see this movie, and you still did.
Next one to see is Horns.
Well, I've heard that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So hopefully that should work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it there when you went?
Yeah, so Nick gave me two choices. We went to either see Horns or Ouija, and I wanted to see Ouija first.
Choose Ouija over Horns then.
Well, I'm going to be seeing Horns next time.
Yeah, but what? But why did you pick Horns? Why didn't you pick Horns first and then go and see Ouija next time?
Because we both saw the trailer and thought it really, really looked awesome.
Well, Nick's got no taste either then. Bloody hell. You need to get someone to go out with who's got some taste.
What would you say was a really cool movie then to see? My Brother from Another Mother?
real movies, not these jump scare, crappy PG-13 like films. They're all terrible.
You ought to see Drag Me to Hell then. That was a great jump scare one as well.
There you go. Look, because of you, I picked these up. You see? Because of you. You became a bad influence. Because of you.
Can you hear us now?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yay!
What's happening? What's been going on?
No, don't ask. Yeah. I've tried with my phone, with my tablet, and basically you keep cutting out in the middle of sentences. So that was me guessing, basically, you saying that you'd spoken to Tash about the the intro, and then you went completely silent, and then James comes back right to the end of the discussion saying, "Oh, I made myself one." Then James goes to talk about seeing Ouija, and it goes silent about him talking about what he thought of the film, and all I hear was you, Malcolm, saying that you didn't enjoy it. So it was like really bad. So I found my camera, and we know this works. So this setup works.
Yeah.
Good. I just can't believe you went and saw it. That's all. The thing that annoys me is it's movies like that people run to see, and they get millions and millions, and people make more of them, and they're not even that great. They're not even real horror movies, in my view.
Why do you not think they're real horror movies? Because they look it to me.
Because they're
Right.
not.
The thing, what Malcolm's saying, and I know exactly what he's saying, is all they're doing is they're there for jump scares. You've got Paranormal Activity, you've got The Conjuring, as you've got Insidious, all these films, all they're there for is jump scares. There's no story, no substance. We've lost, personally for me, I mean, I'm not a massive horror fan, but we've lost a lot of the substance that we used to get from those sort of films. Things like The Thing, The Fog, things like that actually had a genuine story behind them. I mean, I'm not going to spoil it for people because I've been spoiled it for myself because a friend tried to convince me to watch it. But the ending of The Fog is actually an ending that makes you think, and that's what films should be. And as Malcolm's saying, they shouldn't just be a load of jump scares, especially horror films. Shouldn't just be a load of jump scares.
Well, it's like I said in one of my reviews. There used to be a time in horror where you saw the tension rising, and it would get to a standstill, but slowly be creeping up on you and make you think before it happened. Now what happens with jump scares is they go up, and it's like being on a fairground ride, and boom, there's nothing to it. And you get all these teenagers and all that going to it because they've got no real taste in movies, and it gets like 70 odd million or whatever, and then they make another one. I mean, who would have thought there'd have been 3 Insidious movies? Who would have thought after like the Conjuring thing there'd be Annabelle, which was even worse, and there's going to be another one.
So you're going to give the Conjuring a chance then, are you, and then review it?
Yeah, I'm going to give it a go because I kept getting told to give it a go. But I'm going to say this, if it's one of the worst movies I've ever watched, I'm going to do the name of shame on my video of every YouTuber that recommended this movie to me. Now it better be good, because you'll be at the top of that list, James.
Ooh.
Followed by Adam, followed by Alex. Yeah.
There is an Insidious 3 coming out. I didn't think the James 1 didn't want to do anymore.
Not doing it, but there's someone else who's directing it. But the same writer, I think, is involved.
Okay.
That's the problem that happened with the Halloween franchise. John Carpenter didn't want to do a 4th one. He was contractually obliged to the 3rd, wasn't he? And they didn't want to do a 4th one, so they took it elsewhere. They bought the rights off him and took it elsewhere. That's what they do. When they see the money sign, when they see the dollar signs, they go, we'll buy it off you and take it elsewhere. We know this is gonna make money. Well, whether it makes money or not is a moot point.
I was thinking about how horror movies really declined in the 90s quite a bit. And then I was thinking about it, I thought, no, not as much as they do now. Because I've been watching so many horror films, so I've realised the 90 ones, like the sequel to franchises, all kind of go to this point where they really go downhill and then sometimes they rise back up. As the 2000 ones, they seem to come out downhill, but seem to still get the money they deserve. Like, what's the difference with Insidious and a low-budget movie which just isn't, which costs like, let's say, 100 grand? It's like, it's that kind of movie, except with just a little bit more effects to make it better, and people are paying more than they should for it.
But the 80s, you know, it really was the golden era for horror films and slasher films. And of course, the likes of Wes Craven. And I think, to a certain extent, Sam Raimi should be accredited a lot more than he necessarily is with Evil Dead. He made a parody of horror films by making a deliberately low-budget horror film in the Evil Dead franchise. And then it sort of, as you said, took a lull. And then the early 90s, late 90s, it came back up again. I suppose now we're going back down again in that lull.
We've got a comment. Insidious and The Conjuring are two of the best horrors to come out for a while. Okay, Adam, I'm going to watch them. I might watch them tonight, and then I'm going to do a video after I watch both of them, Name of Shame. And if they're absolutely dreadful, Adam, you're going to be tied with James. So, good luck with me enjoying both the movies, because they're right here, you see.
You haven't got Insidious 2 yet then?
I've got Insidious 2, it's upstairs.
Okay.
I bought it ages ago for $3.
I've got a colleague at work that, again, doesn't really watch horror films. Heard stuff about Insidious, and she thought, okay, I'm gonna give it a go. And I should say at this point, for argument's sake, she's middle-aged. She watched it. She said all it was a bunch of jump scares and a bunch of drum rolls leading up to jump scares. And her husband bought the second film for them to sit down and watch together. And she said, I'm not bloody well watching that, and hid it so they could watch it.
Well, the problem is, like we both said earlier, jump scares isn't horror.
No.
You know, if you want to jump, go to a bloody fairground ride and go on one of those funhouse things. You know, horror films need to be real. They need to be what they're supposed to be. They're not. And like you said, the 80s and a big part of the 70s, I think, were the best parts of horrors.
Yeah.
I mean, people can say the golden age was the 30s, but to me, they're horror films in a different way. If you know what I mean. Like, they're in that area where we don't understand it as much as people did back then. Yeah, exactly.
That's a good segue. Yeah, but yeah. Yeah.
But they're still fun. You know?
They're now what's known as classy horror.
Yeah. I mean, the original Dracula one, to me, is more of a kind of, I don't know what I'd call it, more of a semi-horror / romance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's really funny to watch, but it's actually very interesting at the same time. Just when you see Van Helsing as well, it's just interesting.
Yeah, yeah.
You know that one?
What's that?
You like Van Helsing?
Which one are you talking about?
I was talking
You're
about...
talking about the Len Wiseman film. It's a popcorn film. That's, you know, I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad film, because of course he also did the Underworld trilogy, which aren't bad films. They're just not good films. And they're not horrors, by the way. There we go, with Hugh Jackman. It's a fun film.
I'm talking about the Hugh Jackman one.
Sorry?
I'm talking about the Hugh Jackman one.
Yeah. Directed by Len Wiseman is what I was saying. Yeah.
I didn't even know there was another one.
There's not.
It's not directed by Len Wiseman. It's directed by Stephen Sommers.
Is Len Wiseman a part of it? I thought he was.
It hasn't got his name on it.
Oh, I apologise.
See what there? Can you see it?
No. Oh. I can see some names, but not very clearly. Oh.
Okay. It says Stephen Sommers or Sommers.
I apologise.
I got mixed up with another film.
Probably.
It's easily done.
I thought it was done by some of the same people that did the Underworld films, which is why I thought it was similar. That's some of those are done by Len Wiseman. I'm pretty sure. Again, if I'm mistaken again, this is gonna sound. I'm gonna.
The story and screenplay by Len Wiseman.
Yes, there we go.
Let's have a look. Here they are.
I know it's on to something.
Yeah, he directed the original Underworld and Underworld Evolution.
Okay.
You've got all the Underworlds, have you, Malcolm?
Yeah, you know me.
If it wasn't obvious with this big pile of Blu-rays just pulled out.
Yeah. I don't know, you know, I mean, I watch all these movies because I've been sticking to horror for ages now, and it just feels like the same thing over and over and over again. And then when I do see a good one, I mean, the original Child's Play to me is a really good movie because it does have a lot of attention to it. It's very creepy, especially at the beginning.
You got another comment from Adam.
What's this? Insidious 2 is a great sequel, goes well with the first one. James Wan isn't doing the third one, but the guy who wrote Insidious 1 and 2 of James Wan is doing the third one. So it should be decent. James Wan is directed The Conjuring 2 though. Well, he needs to retire.
Or move on, I guess.
Yeah, I'll move on. And I wonder
genre maybe, I don't know.
Well, to be honest, I can't really say anything because I haven't seen them. I just don't like the look of them. So I'll see them and then I'll say my view on them properly.
So what really do you not like about these type of movies?
Me and Gaff have just said basically why we don't like them.
There are a bunch of jump scares in no story.
Okay.
They're just there to make, as Malcolm said, they're a roller coaster ride. They're just you go up high, and then there's a jump scare, and then for the next 20 minutes, you know, they're building up to the next jump scare, and that's exactly how they operate basically.
Other than that, they're practically dead, in my view.
Okay.
See, James, it's people feel like you because you don't really care about a good horror film. So you like that. People that really care about really good horror films, they don't. You see what I mean? I mean, if you watch anything.
This is what leads into why they gain so many millions of currency, whatever currency you want to use, is because they appeal to the masses, basically. They appeal to anybody who, with all due respect to the masses, people who want to turn their brains off, go to cinema, have a bit of a jump scare for a couple of hours, or a few jump scares for a couple of hours, and then leave.
Basically, what I say to Don is the brain dead society we live in now. It is, you know. People are so brain dead nowadays, you know, and it's just like, don't just go and do what you think's gonna happen. Like, oh, this new movie's come out, oh, let's just go and see that because it's crap, but we're gonna like it. Think about what you're gonna do.
I mean, on a similar front, I, for the last 3 years, haven't bought a Call of Duty game because for the last 7 years they've been the same thing over and over again. I mean, to be honest with you, Advanced Warfare looks like I might actually put my feet back into the pool again. But again, you know, it's people are willing to hand over cash, hand over fists for these massive franchises without actually thinking about, hang on a minute, you know, what's going on.
Well, this is the thing. I haven't played a Call of Duty since Black Ops, the first one.
Yeah.
And to me, like you said, it's the same thing over and over again. You've got to shoot by these people, you've got to go through it, you're going to die multiple times, and it's going to get hard, and then it's going to just be a run through straight after. Same thing, nothing new. The online is alright, but if you get people who've been playing it for years and years and years, you've got hardly no chance. Because they're all going to stand where they know all the spawn spots are. So they're going to just shoot you as soon as you get there. And this Advanced Warfare sounds absolutely weird to me. I mean, I was talking to Alex on the PS4.
Yeah.
And Pil can jump in the air like Superman. And it's got lasers and that. I mean,
yeah.
I prefer the old school version to me. You know, with real guns and stuff. But, you know, that's me.
So, okay, James, from your point of view, what is it that... Well, we probably know what the answer is going to be, but what is it that interests you in these films that you go and see, like Ouija and Conjuring and...
I guess the tension.
There is no tension.
That's the word I'm trying to find then.
I'll actually quote you, John Carpenter, at this point. He said the way you've got to deal with tension is you've got to build up tension and then slowly let it off like a faucet, like a tap, basically. You don't let it off all in one go because you then blow your load, for lack of a better term.
Well, that was what I was trying to say earlier.
Yeah, you have to let it off gently. Just give the audience enough and then let it off gently. You don't have to scare the audience outright to keep tension. That's not what it's all about. You just need to keep tension high, but not at an all-time peak. Just let it rise and then, you know, peter out a little bit, then carry on. Don't have to keep, you know, ramping it up, scaring the shit out of the audience, and then you do the same thing again 20 minutes later, you know.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, the whole point of tension is the fact that you know it's there, and you know it's supposed to affect you to the point that you can actually feel that little bit of fear because you don't know what's going to happen. In movies like Insidious and that, after you've seen a few of them, you know exactly what's going to happen, you know, it's going to happen, and that's why it hasn't got the tension that makes a good film. Where are you going?
Ready? Well, that was a quick one. I didn't expect it to last half an hour.
So how you been, Gareth?
I've been alright, thank you very much. Yourself?
Oh, he's back now.
Oh, ah!
What? So what do you like about him then, James?
I like the just the not knowing what's going to happen next, really.
Okay.
Anything else you like about it? Just, if not, it doesn't matter, but...
I guess it makes me feel kind of good when you get quite a good jump scare. I mean, I like that sort of thing.
You like the adrenaline, basically.
Yeah.
But you don't say, how do I put this? You don't get that from any other film.
Not necessarily.
Because going back to the discussion that I came in half an hour towards the end, so I'll appreciate if I missed some of it. But that, you know, there was you speaking about giving away Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which I should hold my hand up, I haven't seen yet. But every single person I've seen said it's a fucking fantastic film and one of the best films of this generation, probably. And there's you wanting to give it away.
Yeah.
What are you talking about, sorry?
Last week when I came in on the discussion, it was to give away Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Yeah.
Which I haven't personally seen, but everybody I speak to said it's an absolutely fantastic film.
It's an amazing film.
You know, everybody I've spoken to, and yet there's you, James, going, oh, I want to give it away because it doesn't interest me. What about that doesn't interest you? But say, what about Ginger Snaps, where you've seen it several times, does? Because you were, well, that's why I went away after that video and watched your reaction video when you did the packaging from Rossi Boy. To see your genuine reaction when you first unpacked it, and there was you going really excited about Ginger Snaps, but I could see you weren't that interested in Eternal Sunshine. Halloween 2 will disregard because you've already got that in your collection, so I understand why you weren't possibly as enthused about that as the other two, but that's what I'm trying to understand.
Maybe it's just because of something I've not even seen before. Maybe if I just force myself to see it, I might like it.
But that's the whole point. You're setting yourself up to not like it even before you stuck it in your drive. That's the thing that I don't understand. You know, there's a couple of films that Luke bumped in with a package that I bought off him that I sort of thought, okay, I've heard mixed things about those films. Watched them. They're thoroughly good films, actually. you know, you don't go in with a precedent, basically, is what I'm trying to say.
It's like me. When I go buy movies, I always buy, if they're cheap enough, I always buy movies that I'd never normally watch to give them a go. Because they're low, they're cheap price. I normally buy them to give them a go, so that it might open my views on other films of that genre or that kind of film. But one of your points, James, is you need to be more open to watching certain films so that you can kind of get a deeper aspect of good filmmaking as well as the possibility of liking another genre properly. Because you might be surprised.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well this is a dead subject, I guess.
Okay, then what movies have you seen? Is there any movies that you've seen that you really regretted seeing, like sort of thing?
Yeah, Annabelle.
There's a couple of films that I've had to watch a couple of times in order to appreciate them the best, I would say. Night Watch and Day Watch are two films that are very strange if you watch them for once, because they're Russian films, they're subtitled, so they can be a bit hard to understand them. But once you watch them the second time, they're not that bad. They're actually pretty good and clever films, and they take the whole supernatural genre into a very interesting place. I mean, to put it, sort of tell people a very small snippet of those films. There's a guy that can drink blood to vampires, drink blood to basically get high off of it, in order to increase his perception. But that's the whole point. He gets high off the blood.
Advanced virus database updated.
So he actually gets drunk off the blood, and you can tell in the film that he doesn't want to take the blood because he doesn't want to get high from that feeling, but he has to in order to increase his perception. And it's stuff like that.
That's kind of funny. He has to get drunk on the blood.
He does. He gets drunk on the blood, but by drinking blood, he gets drunk on it. But he has to do that to increase his perception.
Well, I think, to be honest, with a lot of films, you have to watch them at least a couple of times to kind of understand, especially the deep ones. I'm talking like things like Shawshank Redemption.
Oh.
It's an amazing film the first time, but like when you watch it the second time, you see so much more to it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? That makes it even more amazing. And like you said, with what's the film called again? The ones you were talking about.
Night Watch and Day Watch.
No, that's it. Day Watch and Night Watch and Day Watch. Where were they going? I've got the Blu-rays of them, and I've never actually seen them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've heard good things about them, and I think it's like when it comes to foreign films, a lot of people lose translation in it or certain things because they don't watch that type of film a lot.
Yeah.
So you need to watch it at least a couple of times to get everything in your mind of that film. Because it's like I keep saying about ghost stories in Japan or Korea. There's so much more detail and there's so much more to them because they're actually scared of their ancestors and ghosts and stuff. In England and America, we're not. So watching that is more of a kind of jump and fear thing and scary because you can see they actually believe in that when they're acting it.
I mean, there's actually a game called Siren Blood Curse that did have a prequel called Siren on the PlayStation.
I played that. I played the Siren games. That is quite creepy.
It goes into the whole thing of the dead coming back. They're called Shibidos, aren't they? The Japanese ghosts. And yeah, it's not, again, it hasn't got very many jump scares, but it's an extremely creepy and scary game.
I actually had the Japanese version of the game.
All right.
And it's a really good game. And if you play, especially at night, it does get very creepy.
It does.
You know, all of a sudden all these things start happening, and you're like, it's good. It's a great game. It's a great game.
I mean, one of the best games I have ever played, and to this day I'll hold by that, is Fatal Frame 2. It's such a game. It keeps the tension going, and it keeps everything. It keeps every single sense on.
Fatal Frame, the recent gameplay that Zeren Isaac did.
He's doing the original. He's doing Fatal Frame, the original, and he's replaying it again because of reasons I can't remember why. I never played Fatal Frame because Fatal Frame 2 came out at a time where I was probably a bit too young to play it, so my dad had heard about it, and of course was sort of keeping me away from it. I went into a game shop with my dad, picked up the original Fatal Frame, and sort of said to my dad, "Can we get this?" And he sort of looked at it and was like, "I'm not sure that's suitable." So for a while, Fatal Frame 2 was like this mysterious game that I couldn't play, and I was sort of curious about. Eventually, when we actually got our original Xbox, he downloaded Fatal Frame 2 for it, and I played it with a friend. This is actually quite strange. The friend had to actually walk out of the room several times due to the creepiness of the game. That was me thoroughly enjoying it.
It's funny you say about going into a shop and something becoming kind of like something you really want to say.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't. Because I remember going to, I think it was Clacton when I was younger, and this was when the Sega Master System was out, and it was big. Mm. And it was, I think it was just getting to the point where they were going to move up to, I think it was like the Dreamcast or something. I can't remember. I don't care about the order of when the machines came out. Anyway, so the Sega Master System, we went in a shop and they had all these games. And I was like, wow. And I remember because I was a lot younger, obviously. I was sitting there going, no, I'm not sitting there, standing there going. And we ended up getting, you know, one of those guns. You know, the guns you used to play on the machine. And and it was so bad because you always miss most of the time because it was so off. And we got one of them, and we got, I think it was Canary Wolf. Is that the? I think that's the game. I can't remember. Okay. Was that the place? Anyway, we got this army game that I used to play on the machines, and like, you know, like the game machine things that were in places.
Yep. And
I absolutely loved it. And I remember getting Sonic, and I remember getting Shinobi and Ninja. And to this day, I think that's probably one of my favourite systems because of the whole retro and the fact that I loved it so much. You know?
Yeah.
I always have that memory of being in that game shop. And now you don't get game shops or anything like that now.
Not in the same way. No, game shops have completely changed. And I was actually speaking to someone at where I work. You knew yeah, anyway, I try and be careful about saying where I work sometimes. Anyway, there's someone there who used to work for HMV.
Can I just butt in there? I'm going to say where Gareth works. Gareth works for MI6.
Yeah. I'm James Bond.
Yes, he's their top agent.
James Bond.
And he gives them plenty of wood.
Oh yeah. Yeah, he used to work for HMV. Now, he's been there for the last 10 years. And when he first started, it was very much a local family place. They wanted families to come in, browse. Now, it's basically, we need this shelf space for the top thing that's top of the list right now. Which is, you know, that's how shops are now becoming. We need this this prominent shelf space for the top film or the top game that's currently top of the charts.
Well, the problem is we used to have things like Electronic Boutique and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we don't anymore. And they just focused on games.
No.
And we don't have any of that anymore. We have crap like CEX, HMV. I mean, CEX is... I remember when CEX, when it first came, it was actually all right, but it wasn't great. But it just gets worse. I don't like buying from big stores. Now, when you go on eBay, you can't buy a game cheap enough unless it's a really old game or it's a game that's been out for a while. So you can't get the deals you used to get or enjoy it. I remember the smell of being in a game shop. It had this interesting smell, like when you go in the pharmacy or chemist, it had that kind of smell, you know. Especially, and it was amazing, but you don't ever get that anymore, and you just miss it. That's the one thing I like about going and buy and sell video. It's like going in an old VHS store because of all the DVDs and that everywhere.
I was trying to think of the other day why I like winter so much, and I think I figured it out. It's because in winter is when the most games get released. So I've got fond memories of going down when it's freezing outside, down to game when it used to be good, and actually going there and picking up a game on release and actually being welcomed, you know, by the staff. Now we want you to say the game and get it back out again.
I agree with you on that because November is the best year because they're always released for Christmas. So I love winter like you do, and I enjoy it and all this, but I also hate it because it's so much money now to get a game. it's like it's like $60 to get a game. Brand new on release date. Well, that works out. If you get 4, that works out over $200 odd. You know, and you're looking at it and you're like, I want to play this game. Like for instance, I'm getting Assassin's Creed Unity. I'm getting WWE 2K15.
Yep.
Far Cry 4. What's the other one? What's the other one coming out? There's another one.
GTA 5.
GTA 5 I want to get again.
Okay.
I played on the PS2, but I want to play on the PS4 just because I want to play online. And I think there's another one that's coming out. Oh yeah, I want to get Evil Within, which is already out. But if I got all them at the same time, it'd end up being a fortune. So I'm always trying to wait.
Yeah, easily.
Oh yeah, and Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor. That's the other one.
Oh, I've played that. Yeah.
Is it good?
It's good. Yeah, it's good.
I want to play it because I hear people saying how good it is.
It is good.
So I want to play them, but it's just going to take time because what I do is I play a game, I complete 100%, and then I trade it in.
Yeah, fair enough.
In the old days,
Sorry.
in the old days, I'd never got rid of them, but now I do. So.
What are you going to say, James?
How you getting with your gaming tablet now? Still alright?
Fine. That's the one I was trying to speak to you on. Doesn't seem to work with Google Hangouts very well, but no. Apart from that, it's a very good bit of kit.
You play any particular game on it at the moment?
Fun enough, I downloaded a bunch of emulators on it, and this sort of goes into what Malcolm was saying earlier. I downloaded a bunch of emulators in it and started playing old SNES games on it. That I have to say, of all of the Android devices I've had so far, it probably handles emulators the best. Handles really well. They're smooth. There's no lag, no nothing. I've had no problems with it whatsoever. There's no lag, no slowdown, no nothing. Everything runs on it in a very smooth frame rate, where every other Android device I've had, there's been some hitch up of some description in some games, but I haven't been able to slow down at all.
You said at some point you were going to do some gameplays, didn't you, on it? Or something?
I am. It has the ability to record gameplays. In NVIDIA's latest technology, since the GeForce 660 Ti, they basically had the ability to record gameplay from the chip itself, using a utility that you can download called Game Shadow. The chip that's inside the NVIDIA Shield tablet is the same as in their Titan graphics cards, which was at this point. That graphics card, if you want to buy one, is £770. It's not a cheap.
Well, hey.
It's not a cheap card. They put the same chip inside there, but they, rather than drawing 200 watts of power, it draws 2.2 watts because it's far smaller to fit inside a tablet. But because of that, because it's from the latest generation, it has the ability to record gameplay from the chip itself, rather than recording your screen, if that makes sense, which how it typically works.
I've got a question for you, Gareth.
Mm-hmm.
Would you recommend a gaming PC?
Do I recommend a gaming PC? Yes, if you do it properly.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Who's doing it properly?
Nowadays, in order to do it properly, you're looking at spending, depending on how far down the road you want to go, you're looking at spending between £500 to £1,000 on a decent computer.
Okay.
Graphics cards, without a shadow of a doubt, the graphics card is going to be the most expensive thing you pay for. And for a decent graphics card, you're talking £300 to £400.
Okay. I just wondered because I've always wanted to get one because I like playing PC games. I just don't like playing them on a normal PC because of the way they are.
I know what you mean. I've got a GTX 480 in my computer, which is quite an old card, but it's no slouch. Even today, it's no slouch. It's still, you can still play the games. May not be able to play them at full fidelity, but it can definitely do it.
Yeah.
I mean, the rate in which graphics requirements, shall I say, are progressing is insane. I mean,
Yeah.
the GTX 980 that's just come out is the card with the single card with the most amount of VRAM on it. It has like 4 gig of VRAM. It's ridiculous.
Well, I think what a lot of people forget is when you buy stuff like graphics cards, that you've got to make sure they're future-proof for a long time.
You do, yes.
Because otherwise you're wasting money on something that's going to be outdated in like a month or so.
Exactly, which is why I say to people, spend the best part of £500 on the graphics card. Because a little while ago, and I don't think he minds me saying this, Luke wants to build a gaming PC. He wants to rejuvenate his case with a gaming setup. And I basically priced up for him, showed him the price, and his jaw dropped. And I said, that's the cost to build a gaming PC. I mean, it's far easier if you have a PC that has the requirements. I mean, if I was to upgrade my computer now, I'd probably only have to spend £200-300 on the graphics card and probably a bit on the RAM to bring up to standard, to beef up a bit.
Well,
if you're starting from afresh, you know, it's a massive cost.
I think when you're starting from fresh, I think it's all about dedication. I mean, money is the cost, but obviously if you really want to do it, you can save.
Oh yeah, if you want to do it.
But I think it's all about a lot of things, like, you know, like if it's a passion and you've got commitment to it, you'll eventually do it.
Yeah.
But you can't just go, oh, I'm going to buy like £100 one, because you need to buy the best ones, and yeah, they're expensive.
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
it's like I was looking at some stuff I was thinking about getting, like I think about getting a new microphone.
Yeah.
And I can get one for $3, or I can pay like $150 for the best one.
Yeah.
Obviously, I'm going to pay $150 for the best one in time. Because what's the point in buying a whole load of ones that are cheap, they're just going to break on me, and then I have to buy more?
Yep.
So I never understand why people go, oh, I'm going to get this one first, and I'm going to get that one, when technically it's going to cost them more money because they wasted money on that first one in the first place.
Yeah, I mean, with me, with the Shield tablet, I could have gone for an Nexus 7, which is its competitor, which was £70 less, but doesn't come with the I wanted from that tablet. So I spent the money on that tablet. You know, it's that sort of thing.
Oh, we've got a question. James, you look bored, so I'm going to ask you a question. Did you watch VHS 2? If so, what was your favourite story?
Yes, I did watch it, Adam, and I think it seemed to be the one that, if you seen the movie, Malcolm?
I haven't seen it yet.
I think it was the story where there was like cameras on zombies,
Sounds interesting.
and you sort of, well, this one guy got bitten by a zombie, and then he becomes one, and then you sort of see I don't know if the sort of camera's hidden, because you see him like coughing up blood and they become zombies and stuff. It was kind of weird, but I like that story.
I don't know if you know the premise of the VHS films, James, but they're what's called found footage films. They're presented in a way as if a bunch of scientists basically found these films, and they're presenting them to you, saying, you know, we found these films. What do you think? And it's almost like role play. You have to role play that you're this guy who found these films and looking at them for the first time, and that's why you don't see a lot, and that's why often the cameras are only in one place, and they don't pan like you see in the big blockbuster films.
Would you like to see them go?
Sorry?
Would you like to see those VHS movies?
I keep wanting to see found footage film. I can't remember the film I tried to watch a while ago. I think it was Cloverfield. It actually made me seasick.
Did it?
What happened? Was it the one where the alien comes to the Earth? It's running as they're running about.
One's
running across the floor.
I think it was about half an hour of it before I got quite queasy and basically turned over.
It starts off with them basically being in bed and then them doing a party.
No, the part I got to is when shit had already gone down, basically, and they're running through the streets, and basically he's panning the camera really quickly all over the place, look at all the destruction that's happening. And you hear this wail in the background. It sounds like Godzilla. That's Cloverfield, yeah.
I liked it. I liked Cloverfield.
I'm not saying it's a bad film. Just I need to maybe from the start.
Well, I think the problem is with a lot of found footage films is they are that kind of way. The camera's so messy half the time, but if you got to concentrate on it, you're gonna feel sick and everything because it's so horrible. I mean, I'm not a big fan of found footage films. That's for one reason. I mean, I want to watch them because I've got them, but I just haven't got round to it.
How many have you got?
All 3. Yeah, I've got 5 or 2, which ain't even out on DVD anymore, Blu-ray, so don't tell anyone, because it's not out yet.
Shh. Shh.
I'll get in trouble.
Oh yeah, I work for the MI6. Your arse is busted.
No, but filming isn't your category. Pulling women and killing terrorists, so I get away with it. Unless I'm a terrorist, technically I am, I guess.
Okay, Gareth, if you was a secret agent, what sort of secret agent would you be?
What kind of secret agent would I be?
Yeah.
I'd be the guy that would supply you with the gadgets. I'd be the Q. I'd be the Q to your Bond.
I could see that, actually. And Bond just being like this. Yeah. Okay. And you'd be going, pay attention, Bond.
Yeah.
And yeah, James could be Bond, and then you'd have a complete and utter meltdown.
Oh my God. I can imagine that. I mean,
What about you, Malcolm? What if you was Bond?
Mate, I think I could be a cool kind of guy, but I don't know. I never think about being Bond, to be honest. I always prefer being the villains, because I always thought the villains were cool, like Ernest Strabo Blofeld. It was always my favourite.
That villain on your review intro looks pretty cool. With the gun that goes through the titles.
Oh, you like that? Yeah. It's pretty cool. I like it.
It looks like a game type of thing, though, like it's a game character.
Well, it probably does. But to me, it can be an action film.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it could be anything. It could be a musical channel. Or I'd have to just put music on it where it goes da 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 da. Mix up all the shows. Like Got to Know and then change all the things. So it's like 5 seconds of each film in there.
oh, that would work.
Because if you get the right part of each song, you can actually make a song out of them if you get the right part.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a way you could do that.
Yeah. You got a subject, James?
Sorry?
You got a subject?
Yeah, what's your next movies to watch?
Oh yeah, I wanted to tell you that because I've not been good the last few days because I haven't been watching the movies I've told you I'm going to watch.
Yeah, you haven't.
So I've got 3 here, and yeah, I got it. I finally got one of my favourite movies on DVD again, and that's right, Adam. I know you don't like it. Valentine. Yeah, I love this movie. I love it to bits. So I'm going to watch that, and I'm going to watch Bunny Man Massacre.
Ah.
Well, you watched Ginger Snaps at some point.
And I'm going to watch Ginger Snaps. But yeah, I saw this. I just downloaded this Bunny Man Massacre, and I saw it in there, and I saw it for $4.99, where I just dropped it on the floor. And I thought it's going to be awful, but I'll get it anyway. Say $4.99.
Hey, Alex. Ah.
Nice intro choice. Oh, I'm guessing that's to James.
Thank you, Alex.
So what film have you got planned to watch next then, James? Or filmed or...
Stephen King's It and the collector's edition of Ginger Snaps.
What's the first one?
It.
Sorry?
Stephen King's It.
Oh, It!
Yeah. Have you seen that?
No.
You've not seen it?
I've not seen it. Everyone of a certain age always says, haven't seen it. No, I haven't seen it. And they're like, I'm not sure whether to be disgusted with you or to understand why you haven't seen it.
But the question is, do you know anything about it?
Oh yeah, it's a kind of clown, isn't it?
Because if you haven't seen it, you shouldn't know anything about it because it won't be fair on it.
All I know is that...
Make sure you find it cheap and buy it.
Supposedly it's a killer clown.
And then if you can review it.
If I can review it, I think I can do a better job than you, James, on reviewing. I could do a better job of reviewing just by reading the blurb on the back of something. Ooh.
What have I missed? You haven't missed much, Alex. We were talking about our horror films are not really horror films anymore. They're mostly jump scares. And we were basically asking James what he liked about them, and then we were talking about computers, about, you know, gaming ones a bit. And that was it, basically. And then we started talking about what we're talking about now. Oh, yeah, and games, which were scary and stuff.
I really thought that the first Resident Evil was scary.
It was to a certain extent, and I think actually this has been looked into recently. It was scary because of the restrictive controls, and it turns out that the controls were done in that way deliberately. It was a design choice to make them clunky deliberately to actually make it more of a tense game.
Well, I will say this about Resident Evil. I played the first one. One of the best bits about that one was going through the door, not knowing what was on the other end, and the door opening and then closing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you play Resident Evil now, it's dated and it's not as scary. But back then, it was an awesome game. It was fun. But to me, a real game that scares is one of those games that sticks with you. And no matter what generation you play it at, it can still be effective.
Yeah.
And sadly, Resident Evil 1 can't do that. It was fantastic at its time, but it can't do that.
Yeah, it was definitely a game of its time. It's not a timeless game or anything like that. It was just game of its time. Yeah, very much so. The funny thing is, if you watch, I've watched some gameplay of The Evil Within. Because it's done by the director that did Resident Evil.
Yeah.
He uses the same slow door move opening mechanic that he used in Resident Evil back in the day, because he knows it works and builds tension. It's not done the same way as Resident Evil, obviously. It's done with the man actually putting his hand on the handle and slowly opening the door and then going through. He still uses that same design, but you know.
Yeah.
Any other games that you remember playing, James?
Um,
What's going on?
there were quite a lot, I just can't remember the titles.
Sorry? There's quite a lot, but you can't remember the titles.
Yeah.
But you're a gamer. You're a retro gamer, James. You play games all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, you were telling me about all these other games the other day. Skype.
We've got a question anyway.
We have.
James, what did you like about Uji? Luigi. And gave us 5 shots at you, James.
I did. About the whole. I could do a better review on the back of reading a blurb.
Well, I'm going to do a review soon of the Jiggler Snaps special edition. I think that's going to be a good one.
Yeah, if you could do a better review just by miming the whole thing.
Ooh.
Like this, ready? Here we go.
Here we go, okay.
What's this?
Oh.
What's he doing?
Called a miming review.
What would my miming be? What would my miming review be like?
Oh, are we really going to do this? You ready for this? Your mime would be...
There you go. I'll go.
Okay, give it a go. Okay.
This is a miming review of one you hate. Ready? Okay, here we go. Let's do it.
That was one that he possibly enjoyed, I'm not sure. He doesn't even do that. That's the whole point. He doesn't even open them up anymore.
What are you doing to it?
He hates it. He's breaking, you know, giving it what for.
Hey, watch this. Let me see. Where are we? There we go. That's where that Insidious film
Hey
can
Malcolm,
go.
can you show us a new camera?
I can't. It's upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's upstairs. I can't. Donna's probably using it anyway.
He's now gone to recover his There was something I wanted to speak about, but I've completely forgotten now with all the stuff that was going on earlier with me trying to work out what device actually was going to work properly.
I know what you wanted to bring up.
What?
Masturbation.
Masturbation! Okay, masturbation.
You wanted to talk about how you put glasses on the penis.
Yeah,
And masturbate. It looks like your eyes are watering.
I mean, why do you think my glass is so smeary all the time? I can never get this stuff off.
To be honest, I once orgasmed over a computer screen, and it was so hard to clean off, but I never ever got the stuff completely off.
I always clean my glasses.
Over a computer screen.
It gets everywhere, doesn't it? That's the problem.
Does.
It's the main problem.
My laptop, I had 2 laptops that stopped working because they got water damage.
Oh. Actually, on a serious note, I actually had a colleague come up to me. It wasn't him, but apparently a friend of his. Took a MacBook Pro in to get it repaired, and again they tested it had been water damaged. And then they looked at after they went back to the guy and said it'd been water damaged. They said we can't repair it under the care that you took out for it. You know, you have to either buy more care or you pay to get it fixed. And he sort of said, I'm not sure how it's become water damaged. And they sort of said to him, well, the water's quite viscous, quite thick. So, you know, and they're basically saying to him what it was without actually saying to him what it was. And he tried to deny it, and they basically said to him, not being funny, but let's just say your internet history is quite colourful. So, you know, do you want to pay the price for your new laptop or what? And apparently you just hand over the money they needed to repair it, and that was that.
Oh dear. Well, I remember they said they'd changed the keyboard on my one, and then they said it won't work at all practically because of the water damage, and that I'd have to pay something outrageous for it, and I was just like, no, I'm moving anyway, so I don't need it.
Yeah, yeah. I had a friend who had a pristine MacBook Pro. He never got it dirty or anything like that, which was really good. And then one slight trip, well not trip, but he went to sit down in awkward fashion and spilt a bowl of cereal all over it. So the worst thing you could spill over a bit of computer, milk basically, and it completely fried the computer. Luckily though, just after getting it back 3 or 4 times from the insurance company after not repairing it properly, he actually ended up starting a job that he got his own laptop from. So he managed to
that was handy.
That was handy actually. I did say that to him. That was handy. But yeah.
That would have completely ruined it.
Sorry, it did ruin it. The thing that was the funniest thing about it all is that he had household insurance, which they claimed it off of. Each time he got the laptop back, it would exhibit exactly the same problems again. And it turns out they weren't actually repairing it. They were just sending it away to a centre and then sending it back again. They weren't actually. They were claimed to be registered Apple repair people, whatever, and they weren't. They were just sending it away, and then the guys were cowboys basically, just sending it back half done. Well, not even that really. And then the unit fizzled out completely, and it was dead. How you getting on with your laptop now, James?
Brilliantly now, yeah.
Oh, that's the camera there.
Hey, oh, it's a nickel.
Yeah, I forgot, but there's a picture on the bloody box.
Alright, yeah.
It's got 34 times zoom. It actually works quite good. The out and about video I did looks quite good on the camera.
Have you seen that one, Gareth?
Sorry?
Malcolm's out and about video.
No, but I'll watch it now since he's done it to new camera.
Yeah, I did it with the camera. So I bought the camera so I could do like holding up videos and stuff. So yeah, I've got. Everybody check my channel out now. Actually, it's funny because at first I was like, there's a camera on me when I'm out. Oh no. But I enjoyed it a lot.
You too, James.
Over to the back with Malcolm.
Where is it? Where's it gone? Because the one I had before was that really cheap looking silver one, which to be honest with you is shit. Because it did the job originally, but when I look at the old videos, they look absolutely horrendous. You know?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I bet you haven't got that one anymore now.
I have, it's around somewhere, but the screen's purple, so I just keep it because I don't want to get rid of it. It cost me like $100 odd originally. I mean, I bought the camera technically for Donna for our anniversary, but she can use it for pictures and I use it for video, but I just can't bother to place it on, on stack things. So I'll just do the videos on the webcam when I'm indoors.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Because it works out easier. Hey James, that's what I done. I went
Did you say a little while ago you can upgrade your camera or something, James, or did I mishear that?
Sorry?
I thought you said a while ago you can upgrade your camera.
No, not yet.
Yes, no, was it? No, but I might have been
Maybe
heard
one day,
it.
I'm not in no rush to.
Yeah,
I think the Flip does good video. I mean, it's not.
It does, actually.
I mean, I think that's pretty good for what it is.
Not being funny, when I bought my camera, which I don't mind saying cost me 150 quid, and I first start recording videos, I was thinking, well, they look so shit. And there was videos looking quite good, and we know how much James paid for his. I won't reveal it. That's for James to reveal that if he wants to. But let's just say it costs less than mine. And there's me thinking,
oh, look at that dig! Look at that dig! It costs less than mine. I paid more than him.
No, but his videos look better. Is what I'm trying to say.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm trying to say.
My camera costs £60.
See, there we go. A third of the price of mine, and your videos look better in my opinion.
My one cost $250. I wanted to get originally I wanted to get a $600 one.
The new one. That's it.
I wanted to get the newer one. I wanted to get because the thing is, the part of me always believes if you're going to get something, you should go out and get the best one you can.
Yeah.
But I thought it'd do, and I saw video quality of it, and I was like, it's alright. It's going to last me a while. The one thing I hate about it is the batteries, but you have to put batteries in it.
Ouch.
Yeah, so I don't like that. But other than that, yeah, it records pretty well, so I like that. Plus I got an SDXC card, which was like 128 gigabyte for it. Yeah, because I thought I was actually going to buy the 252, I think it was.
256 it would be.
That's it, 56, yeah. 256. I was actually going to buy that one, but then I thought, am I really going to do 56 hours worth of video?
56 hours, wow.
Can you imagine? I could record me for 2 straight days. Hey guys, yeah. Going to bed now. Record
That's almost 2.5 days, almost.
Yeah, I could record myself in bed, getting up, having breakfast. Having a shower.
Yeah, but it's not waterproof, so be careful.
That is waterproof, actually.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure it is.
So you can actually record yourself going swimming.
I could take it under the water with me. I wouldn't think it's very advised, but it's waterproof to a certain degree. I think if it's like by rain,
Yeah.
Not by actual like going in a pool kind of thing.
That might be pushing it a bit. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it works. It's a good camera, and I plan to do some more videos like with it. But I've liked doing my reviews on the webcam because it's easier for me to. Plus, when the videos come off, they're in slow motion. So when I edit them, I have to watch very carefully. But after I've edited them and I've published them, then it's obviously in normal motion. So
Interesting.
yeah. So when it first happened, I was like, why isn't it working? Why have I got slow motion? You know? But, yeah.
I wonder if it's... maybe. I don't know. It might be recording at 60 frames per second, but displaying it at 30.
Yeah, it does.
Ah, there we go. That might be the thing.
Because it is in 60 frames per second.
And of course, 60 FPS has just come to YouTube, for those of you that don't.
Well, you know, the thing is, I need to get a tripod.
Yes, yeah.
You know, but I don't know what one to kind of get. So I know I need to look into it, which I will do eventually. I plan on getting a green screen eventually and all.
Yep.
Because I'm thinking about a green screen and getting two women behind me on it, kind of massaging my shoulders while I'm talking on the video, you know? Yeah.
Yeah.
They get people watching.
It will be, it will.
Green.
Green screens ain't that expensive, so I think about getting that. I think about getting a new microphone. I need to get a couple of new hard drives. And then nothing.
Oh, hard drives. Yeah, anyway.
About getting I'm thinking about getting a 5 terabyte one.
Yes.
But the problem is, if you want to get a cheap 5 terabyte one, it has to have a plug-in, and I don't like plug-ins. I like USB ones.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
Otherwise, I'm going to be paying something like I think $500
Yep.
for a USB one, when I can pay $124 for a plug-in one.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, do I get the plug-in one even though I don't really like them because of the price? Or do I spend the extra on that when instead I could buy 2 hard drives, a tripod, a green screen? You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So, I don't know. It's difficult.
I've got about 4 hard drives I need to sort out at the moment.
I've got 6. I've got 6 2 terabyte ones, and I want to get a big one so I can move the stuff that's the same on all of them over to that one.
Yep.
Like movies and stuff, and then have a 2 terabyte one for my videos I do for YouTube. I can put them on there for safety. Because if anything ever happens to my YouTube account, I want to have the security of still having the videos.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So I can just re-upload them all again.
Yeah.
James looks bored again.
Go on, James, give us a subject then.
Okay. Do you have any questions, even?
No, I just actually looked through. There's no new questions. I actually can't see how many viewers we got. Unless I'm looking at the wrong
5.
area. Sorry, 5.
Yeah. Hello, 5 viewers.
Hello, 5 viewers. Ask some questions. Stop being lazy and ask some bloody questions.
Let's go to YouTube and see if there's anyone there that people have left. Because I know some people.
That's a good point, actually. Big John always leaves ones on YouTube.
Have anybody checked the channel yet for comments?
That's what.
I'm doing.
There is one. James, why do you watch shit horror films for? What's the attraction?
Who says that?
The Last Avenger. He has a mission to talk about your shitty films. He brings it up a lot.
He's the Avenger of it.
Just because I find them very entertaining?
I think anybody knows James, I think anybody who knows James knows what he's like and doesn't really think about it anymore, to be honest. Because otherwise you just go mental.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
But, so what's your subject going to be, James?
My subject. I ran out of them.
What, already?
I keep telling you, James. I keep saying to him, Gareth, before the chat, he needs to think up subjects and write them down on a bit of paper.
I've been saying this for a while. I said this a while ago. That he needs to come up with some subjects that we can bring up during the.
Okay then. What is both of your first ever memory of going to a video rental store? For VHSs, this is not before DVDs and before Blu-ray.
I haven't got one.
I've got one.
I've got a memory for VHS.
You haven't got memories of VHS?
Oh no, I've just thought of a shop that was very local that I went to. So okay.
Yeah, I got no memories of going to a store and renting stuff.
Yep.
Alright, Gareth, tell us about it.
We had a store that was called. I'm not actually going to give its name out because it was called The Road It's On and then Video. So I'm not going to give its name because the road's not too far away from me. And yeah, on a Thursday or Friday, about 3 o'clock-ish when the schools chuck out, my mum used to childmind someone who went to a school very close to this video shop. So often after picking them up, she'd pop over to the video shop and pick up a film or two in those stereotypical white cases, rental cases, and then bring them back. And would often either watch over the weekend or watch them on the Thursday or Friday if there were applicable films for us younger people, shall we say. But I often remember that my dad used to watch the film together, and they used to close the front room door because, of course, they were generally, I'm guessing, films that were possibly inappropriate for people of our age when I was still going to school. That's probably the earliest memory I have.
That's your memory.
I have another memory that's a bit better than that, but that's the original one.
Oh, I'll say mine then. When I was younger, my cousin worked for a store called 21st Century, which was down the road, which was just kind of like round the corner from where I lived. And my mum and me used to go in there, and they had all these ninja films. If anybody remembers VHS ninja films, they remember there's so many that you can't buy anywhere, but you always can find them in your local rental store. And I used to go in there, and I remember looking at the videos, and again, it had that classic smell of dust and that beautiful essence of what movie am I going to pick. Now, I was so young, but my mum always got me to pick the movie, but obviously she'd take it to the counter. And I remember those times like they were yesterday. It was such a beautiful, amazing time. I loved VHS so much, and I loved picking them up because you'd pick them up in the big box, you'd take them to the counter, they'd look for them, and it'd be in a clear box with the name of the shop on, and you'd take it out and you'd take it home and you'd watch it, and you'd take it back. Well, me and my mum used to do it a lot. I used to go in there because it was a big, massive store. It had videos everywhere, and I just remember it being like the most beautiful, the most amazing thing I'd ever seen. And I think that's why I like buy and sell so much, because it reminds me of that, but with DVDs.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, there's something where you know you love something so much, and when it gets taken away, it's so horrible, because that's one of my favourite childhood memories. But I got to experience, and it's one of those things I'll never experience again unless I buy a whole load of VHSs and make a room with this looks like a rental store and get Donna to stand at the doorway and act like I'm renting them, which would be very creepy. So it's one of those weird things that I miss quite a lot.
There's a store, again, I wouldn't say local to me, it's a bit of a walk, but a 20-minute, half an hour walk from where I live now. Me and my dad used to, every Friday, used to walk down to School Ross Records, used to walk down to the store, and used to pick up a game or a film to watch over the weekend, and that was a very similar experience. It was a local store. There's only, I think, 3 in the UK, 2 being in Portsmouth and 1 being up north somewhere. And yeah, we used to walk down there to pick up a couple of films, bring them back, or a game or something. And again, it was exactly the same. You'd walk in, you think, right, what film am I going to buy today, sort of thing.
Do you remember the name of your video rental stores?
Sorry?
You remember the name of your video rental store?
I can't say the name because I said it. It's called Robots On Videos.
What about you, Malcolm?
I know what it's called. It's called Rodeo on Portsmouth. No, what's that? What were you asking, James? What mine were?
Yeah, what was your local video?
First Century.
Mine was called Enterprise Video.
It's actually quite funny because I remember what people forget about video rental stores back in the day was you couldn't just buy them from anywhere. You couldn't go on eBay and buy them or Amazon or that and buy them. So there was so much more magic to finding that film. Because I remember my mum always taking me to boot sales and, you know, the big massive market things.
Yep.
And I'd find the film, I'd be so excited. Oh, I've never seen this film. I never seen this film. I never buy it. Someone's going to take it from me. Right? Now, I can go, oh, well, you know what? That's 10 quid in the shop. I'll get off eBay for £5.
Yep. Well, I used to go down Ross Records. When I used to go down Ross Records myself, it was very much a similar thing. I used to go down there, see a film, and it's like, if I don't buy this, I'm not going to get it, basically. Because back then, there was no internet to go and then buy it elsewhere. It was, I either buy this here, or that's it, you know, I'm not going to get it.
Well, and the thing is, people, I feel sorry for the generation under, like, you and me, Gareth and James, because they'll never experience what we did.
They won't.
You know, it's like me, I'll never experience what my cousin experienced because he's 40 now. And he had a lot better kind of experience because he had the pre-cert days. You see what I mean?
It's like kids nowadays don't know what VHS is.
Yeah, basically, you know. And it just amazes me because VHS was such an amazing product at its time, and the idea of seeing films in rental stores, because this was when rental stores actually were important. You know, rental stores, they don't matter now. Yeah, you can go down, you can get one for $1.25 from Redbox, or you can go in an odd Blockbuster if they're still around, you know, a shop like that. But the fact is, why would you rent a movie for $5 or £5? But you can buy it for £5 off eBay, Play, wherever. You're not gonna, unless you're stupid, are you? You know what I mean?
Stupid, yeah.
So the whole thing of rental is dead because of the way time has evolved.
I mean, the other thing is, of course, the whole point of VHS was that was the first major form of home release. You know, we had Laserdisc, I think, just before that, and some Betamax. But it was really
we had Laserdisc after VHS.
I thought it was during.
I think it was. I think Laserdisc happened just a little bit after VHS.
Okay. So yeah, Betamax and VHS, and of course there was nothing else really apart from an actual projector, I suppose, and projection reel. It was the first real home release thing, so they were really trying their best to sell this to people. And one of the best ways to get people to understand what it was to rent it to you. You know, so you get a taste of what it's all about, and then hopefully you go out and actually buy it. You know.
Well, the thing is, I remember watching Laserdisc because my cousin's still got about 400 of them because he won't sell them. Yeah. I remember watching the Laserdisc quite recently when I visited England, and I remember thinking to myself, he said it was a lot better than VHS. And I'd sit there going, it doesn't look that much better to me. It looks like VHS on a big massive disc.
Yeah.
Before DVD, where they figured out what they were doing.
Yeah.
Because I can't imagine many people owning big massive discs like this. You know what I mean? So
there's a lot of people with still big collections though on YouTube of Laserdisc.
Oh yeah, obviously you're going to get people who don't because people are insane. Do you get what I'm saying? I mean, I'm not saying it in a horrible. I'm saying that in a complimentary way. Like, just look at Cinema Sickness, for instance. He buys the VHSs, the Betamaxes, the Laserdiscs, the Blu-rays, the DVDs, the whatever of almost every movie. Now he's got maybe 3 copies of it on a Blu-ray DVD. That's his choice, and good luck to him. But I'd rather buy something that I want on a format which is out now than have to go and find a Laserdisc player or pick up the Laserdisc and watch it, unless it was something special. Like, to me, Psycho, for instance, it's a great film. On Blu-ray, it's absolutely ruined. On DVD, it still works because it's still got that graininess to it. And to me, I'd rather watch the DVD than the Blu-ray. So, you know, unless it's like that.
Why would you rather watch the DVD with the Blu-ray?
Because the Blu-ray, it's been cleared up so much that it's just nowhere as nice as it was as a horror film back then. The whole graininess in the original prints is what makes that film a little bit more scary. Because it's like you're kind of watching it through the whole eyes of, you know, the camera. It's a beautiful film that way, but when it's cleaned up and made on Blu-ray, it just doesn't look as scary, and it doesn't have that kind of oldie feel to it. It has a more of a clean feel to it, which to me ruins the movie a lot more.
Yeah, I can see that.
Are there any other movies you think the same way about that with other films?
I mean, most horror films now are ruined by a Blu-ray from the 70s because you can see the prosthetics more, and you can tell, like, when a head comes off, it's really, really fake because of how clear the picture is. But I won't count that because even though that does affect the film, it can't be helped. But setting-wise and that, I probably couldn't think of one on the spot. I'd probably have to go through my collection and look because...
When you watched Nightmare on Elm Street on Blu-ray, did you notice Freddy's makeup more on that?
To be honest, the Blu-ray of it it's all right. It's not the best picture, and I think that's the good thing about it. It's got a very 80s kind of picture feel to it, like a lot of 80s films do on Blu-ray, where they're great, but they're not perfect. And I think that helps the movie stay the same, because it was all right. But when you watch like New Nightmare, it looks horrendous because you can see the mask is the mask. You can see that the film's just complete and utter crap.
And yet that's my favourite.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons we know it's rubbish, James.
Yeah, the third one's pretty cool, mine as well.
What, third Nightmare on Elm Street?
Yeah.
Do you know, I've never been a big fan of Nancy. I never have been. I don't know why. I've just never been a big fan of hers.
Have you seen any of the Nightmare films, Gareth?
No.
No. Oh, you're missing out.
Am I?
Yeah.
You sure?
I'll be right back. I need to go to the toilet. Oh.
Am I really missing out?
Yeah.
No, not really.
Thank you, T. I thought so. I didn't think I was missing out that much.
Are you okay?
I mean, when Malcolm gets back, we can talk about this a bit more. But I really want to check out the Halloween franchise because I like the first film so much, and as I've seen it 3 times now, for God's sake.
Well, that steelbook version you got.
Sorry?
Steelbook version you got.
Yeah, that steelbook version, the Blu-ray version. Yeah. Well, I watched. Sorry.
Does it look nice on that?
Yeah, it does look nice. It looks, to me, it looks nice, but it's the only version I've ever seen. I watched Horror Fanatic 78, Adam's review of the Scream Factory box set, the one that, of course, Malcolm did a contest about.
Mm-hmm.
And he said that, to him, the transfer of the first one isn't as good as the transfer they did a few years back, in his opinion, because it sucks the colour out a little bit. But at the same token, he said it's the only way you're going to get all of them on one set on Blu-ray. But I think it looks very good, and the sound is the thing that got me though. It sounds so good. It really does. Oh.
Do you like Rob Zombie stuff?
Sorry?
Do you think you like the Rob Zombie one?
I was actually considering watching the Rob Zombie film a little while ago. Obviously, it's got a very divisive opinion set. Some people love it, some people hate it. Hello?
What have I missed?
What have you missed? Basically, I was saying to James, he said, do you ever seen any of the Nightmare on Elm Street film? I said no. And he said, you know, what films have you seen? What do you want to see? And obviously I said I want to check out the Halloween franchise at some point because I watched the original film up to this point.
Because we'll go pop the twist like that.
You're not disappearing. Ah!
Let me give you a bit of advice, Gav. Don't watch the Rob Zombie ones. Seriously, I went to the cinema and saw the first one at 1 a.m. in the morning with my dad. And after half an hour of the film being on, I was like, oh no, fuck. Because Malcolm McDowell's in it as Dr. Loomis and ruins the character completely. The whole thing of Michael Myers is ridiculous. There should never have been a backstory of him being a kid and killing people, other than the beginning of the first one. Rob Zombie's a terrible director. He's a terrible, terrible, terrible person who writes movies that are absolutely awful. And it just ruins the whole movie. I prefer Resurrection, which is terrible, compared to the Rob Zombie ones. I'd rather cut off my penis and die a slow death, like in I Spit on Your Grave, the original. Watch those two movies again.
It's so funny because I heard completely contrasting views last week when I was watching the what was it, last week before? Because Darren Isaac put on his Facebook that he dropped his Scream Factory set on the kitchen floor and busted most of the cases. And the first time he actually revealed what happened to them on video was during one of his Saturday Night Insanity things. So I watched the whole like three hour video just to see him showing them off. And every time someone said that the Rob Zombie films were shit, Stalman sort of said, no, they're really good films. And that was me thinking, you know, I've heard different.
Because he's got no taste. Look, Adam's a big Rob Zombie fan, and he likes the Halloween movies, right? But you got to remember, these people are Rob Zombie fans, which means they've got no taste. You know, and that means that you avoid those two like the plague. Seriously, awful. But they're not as bad as Ouija and Annabelle and all that, so they're a little bit better than that, but they're still rubbish.
Okay. They're better than that, but they're still rubbish. Okay.
Yeah, like Michael Myers walking around. Like in number 2, when Michael Myers walks around like a homeless bum, putting his mask on to kill people and take it off. You're like, what the hell's that about?
All right.
And it's a bit where what's it called? The people that travel the dead bodies around.
Undertakers.
They crash into a cow. What the fuck is that about? They crash into a cow. It's ridiculous. It's an awful movie. And the ending's even worse. Which I won't say because you're going to watch it and I don't want to spoil it.
Okay, no problem.
All I'll say is at the end you'll think these people were on crack when they did this.
I've heard that a lot. I've heard that to make these films, Rob Zombie must have been on something. He probably was, but you know.
He looks like he's on something.
He is most of the time.
I just don't get why people like his movie so much. I was looking at getting Salem's Lot. Isn't that the one he made?
Yeah, it's Salem's Lot. Yeah, the most recent.
Yeah. I was tempted to pick that up, but then once I saw his name on it, I was like, no, can you please throw that in the bin?
It's funny because I spoke to someone recently who said House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil's Rejects. No, the Devil's Rejects they said is a bad film, but they said stylistically they like House of a Thousand Corpses.
Yeah, I've got House of a Thousand Corpses. I've never watched it, but a lot of people have told me it's all right.
Yeah.
But I've watched Devil's Rejects twice in my life, and both times I'm like, this movie's a complete and utter mess. You know, like I think it's their dad. He runs around going like this, with like a weird looking face, and you're like, what's that about? I think he writes his nightmares down on some sort of movie script.
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised if he comes up in some sort of comes down on the drugs he takes. Probably takes some drugs. He's a.
Because they said that's how Wes Craven came up with a lot of his ideas, but they actually worked.
The funny thing is recently, I think it was Parkinson basically said to Paul McCartney, he said, you know, there's been conjecture for years that you guys were on drugs during the 60s and 70s, what actually went on. And he turned around and said, look, everybody was on drugs during the 60s and 70s. We were no different. Some of our best stuff came from our most jacked up, you know, came from our most jacked up of situations. It's a course we were, you know.
It's funny because you look at the Rolling Stones.
Yeah.
Right? They're high most of the time, right? And they're legends, and they're old really now.
Oh yeah.
But the music they created, from being high and all that, it's like massive hits that have lasted for like 20, 30 years. And you won't think that getting high or being drugged up could make you so fantastic at writing, but it can for some people.
It can, okay.
You know?
What are you chomping on, James? Sneakily nip off. Oh, it's a sausage roll. I see.
He likes a good bit of sausage in his mouth.
I was about to say that. See, I don't know why they bother wrapping it up in that pastry for James. You just eat the sausage straight.
Look at him. It's taking it down. Make sure not to choke on it.
Where's the cream filling?
Oh.
Sorry.
It's funny because I was watching an old chat and James was going on about Twinkies and I said in it he likes getting the white stuff shot in his mouth from it. I was in tears of laughter watching it back.
Yes, because I think I remember that one talking about Ghostbusters and he said, I'd like to eat a Twinkie.
Yeah.
He references Twinkies, doesn't he?
So James, what's the next subject?
I even had a Twinkie on my channel.
You ate a Twinkie on your channel?
Yeah.
What, people watched it?
Yeah.
I watched me eat a Twinkie and imagine it's a penis. Oh, I'm choking on the white stuff. Oh. I told you not to squeeze it too hard.
Oh, it's in my eye! We make him choke. Let him eat his sausage roll before.
Alright, Gareth, you must have a subject.
Oh, hang on. Right. We have another question on the... We have another question from The Last Avenger. Gareth, what's your favourite Beatle album and why? Well, that's a good question. My two favourite Beatle albums was first probably Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band. I like the album a lot because it starts off with a pretty nice guitar riff, and the whole album is kind of light-hearted. Doesn't take itself very seriously, and is a very fun album to listen to. Not very long. It's about 42 minutes long, so it's an easy listen. Next up is the White Album, I would say. The White Album has such an eclectic mix of different styles and shows the Beatles in their true fashion. And after that, I would probably say Let It Be, and then the others fall in where they fall in. I would definitely say Lonely Hearts Club Band.
I think mine would be Let It Be. I'm not as big on it as you are, Gareth.
All right, fair enough.
I'd say I like Let It Be.
Yeah.
That's quite a good one. I'd say I know a bit about music, but I'm not crazy on it. Like, people asked me questions, I probably could answer a few of them, but I'd probably do a better job than James does on the movies. But I wouldn't be like you are.
That's a bit bad now.
What's
It's
that?
not like I don't know everything on every movie. Come on.
James, do you know what? I watch the Geeky-Chats regularly. I'm playing in the background while I'm gaming. And 83% of the time you say you've never heard of something.
Mm-hmm. I tested this theory the other day on Skype with you, James. So I said you was looking forward to this game. You're like, what's that game?
Clearly because you all know the best stuff.
It's not necessarily the best stuff. It's about to be released. How do you know how good it is before it's even going to be released?
See, it's like I always say to him, Gareth. I always say what James should do is when he goes on Amazon, he should research what people suggested and read up on it a bit. That way, when people mention it again, they'll be able to talk about it.
As I said to James, and as we try and tell people on camera, what we say on camera is the tip of the iceberg. What we actually do.
Yeah.
You know, when I say, for instance, I've got Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol here. Once I've seen the film, I then go online and look at other people's opinions of it, and then that allows me to form my complete opinion, and I'll go ahead and go, right, this is my review of this film. This is what I think of it. This is the contradictory side of it, what other people think of it. I agree, either agree with them or don't agree with them, that sort of thing, and that's that basically.
Well, it's funny you say that because I always, if I like a film or I don't like a film, I always look for like the middle thing of a review, and then I look to see what maybe I missed or maybe I didn't like, but someone else might have seen in a different light.
Yeah.
So I might be able to understand that scene a bit more.
Yeah.
Because I think I think the intellectual thing to do really is to do that, because that way not only have you got your opinion, but you can also have an opinion that is caused from other people, because you're actually opening up and actually caring enough to actually spend maybe 10, 20 minutes to 30 minutes to actually reading up.
Yeah, I mean, on that note, I very rarely look a film up before I watch it nowadays, because I feel I have a better time going into films that I know not a lot about than I do I know a lot about. And again, it allows me to form my own opinion without it being coloured by other people's first.
Yeah, I agree with you. I did the same thing. James?
Yeah.
Come on, you need to say some stuff. You've been practically dead in this chat. You need to say some stuff.
All you've got is
Practically dead.
gone and chomped on a sausage roll.
The last few chats has been really quiet in them.
Come on, James, what's up? He's got the giggle fits now.
That's what it is now. It's either quietness or laughter.
Oh, okay. I am going to seriously get into reviewing tomorrow again.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you going to take my advice and do a few at a time? Because that would benefit you more.
Yeah, but I want to do that when I get some more purchases.
I mean,
Hold on, sorry, Gav.
Sorry.
You've got like 30 DVDs right beside you. Do it with them.
Wait until I get the first ever Blu-rays I attempt to buy.
Why? If you're going to review, James, do it the way that I suggested, because that's better for you. If you do a mini review of like 3 movies in one thing, that will benefit you more than doing one. Because that will help you out, because that way you don't have to worry about doing a bigger review, because that's how you'll be able to get on with it. Plus, people will enjoy it more.
Yeah, but then if I want to talk about a film next time again, it's going to be hard because I don't want to have a stack of them.
That's the whole point. You then refer them back to that video. That's why you consolidate all the opinions in one, and then say, "This is my review." And then when someone says, "What do you think of that film?" you don't make another video. You say, "Right, I did my review. There's the video. Watch that."
Look, James, what you got to remember is when you come to YouTube, you need to do your strengths, right? Your strength would be doing multiple movies in one review thing and reviewing them shortly, because
I like to try and learn them in the way you do them, though, because they're cool.
The way I do them.
Yeah.
But you want to mix it up so it's different to the way I do it.
I mean, every review I watch of different people bring different things to the table. I mean, I do watch your reviews, James, but if I'm going to be honest with you, I don't come to your reviews for the factual information. I come to your views for your opinion, however sparse it may be. I come there for your opinion, and that's what you've got to try and base your reviews on. People are coming there for your opinion. When someone looks up Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol or whatever, they're not necessarily looking for what the film is about, because they know what the film is about. They're searching for the film. They want to know what you think of the film, and that's the spin you want to do, isn't it?
Well, when I review a movie, normally what I do is I talk a bit about the film and scenes that I didn't or did like, and talk about that a bit more if I can.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, I say about what I thought of the film.
Yeah.
Right. But I honestly believe that James's way of doing it should be multiple movies in the same video because it would be different.
You would be.
And it's something that could play on his strengths because he wouldn't have to worry about doing a 4 or 5 minute video on one movie then.
No, you wouldn't.
Plus, it would be different to most people's.
You could call it. I'm trying to think of some names you could maybe call it. Speed reviewing. I don't know.
You could call it my triple movie reviews. 1, 2, 3. Or something. He's not going to listen. He's just going to do it the way he wants to do it. So I don't know why bother.
So what review are you going to do tomorrow then, James?
I really want to do Poltergeist because I've got a lot to say on that one.
Okay. What have you got to say on it?
First off, that my dad took my mum to see it.
No. About the film itself.
I have to wait and see. I'm not going to see that twice because then I wouldn't be able to. Then sort of I wouldn't be able to not be bothered to do what I'm going to be talking about tomorrow.
I don't understand that frame of mind. You're like that on Skype, even between just me and you, when it's just me that's going to know about it, and then you're going to say your actual opinions to the other 716 people that subscribe to your channel.
The thing is, James, I'm going to be very brutally honest with you right now. I'm going to do a Gareth. All right, that's what I call it now, Gareth. When I'm going to be brutal, I'll be in a Gareth. So here we go.
Gareth.
When it comes to reviews, you're not strong enough on them to do one review in one video. I know it sounds horrible, but you're not. The reason I say you need to do multiple in the same video is because it will be stronger because of that. And plus, like I say, it's different. You need something that's going to pull people in. That would pull people in. That's why people like watching the collection things with Brandon Mitchell and that, because they do multiple things in the same thing. And they don't say much about the film, but they talk a little bit about it. If you did that, Pill wouldn't say to you, oh, this review was terrible. They'd say, oh, this was a pretty good short review of the film. So you've got to play on your strengths. And this is what I keep suggesting to you, and you need to listen. Because I try to help you, and eventually I won't care about helping you, and I'll just let you fall flat. And I don't want that to happen to you.
You know the Cry Wolf story, James?
No.
There was a boy in a village who was given the job of looking after some sheep. And the one thing he was told to do was, while looking after these sheep, was that if ever a wolf comes along, you are to shout, "Wolf, wolf," and the townsfolk will come up and then scare the wolf away. Now this guy was a bit of a mischief maker, so he decided to call wolf when there was no wolf. So the village people come up to the patch where the sheep are with their pitchforks and their fire, ready to scare the wolf away. No wolf. It's, oh, I'm just joking with you guys. So they go back to the village. Next shift, looking after the sheep. Once again, he's there bored. He's looking after the sheep. They're grazing in the grass. He's bored. Wolf! Wolf! They come back up, pitchforks in hand, fire. Yeah, okay, where's this wolf? No wolf. He does this several more times. One lonely night, he's there with the sheep, and all of a sudden he hears a "oh!" and there, standing in front of him, is the wolf. So he shouts at the top of his lungs, "Wolf! Wolf!" You know what happens? No one comes. Absolutely no one comes. He's there, faced with a wolf. He gets gobbled up, and so does the sheep. The premise of the story is that people were trying to tell him, or people were trying to, people were there for him when he didn't need them, whereas when he truly needed them, they didn't come. They didn't really come because he was playing them off, basically, and that's what Malcolm's trying to say.
Yeah.
Listen to him, basically, because at some point you're gonna ask him for advice, and he's gonna go, "There's no point in me giving you advice because you didn't take it in the past. So, are you gonna listen now?" Is the sort of thing. We're trying to help you, James. You said in the past that the line you use the most when you pick up a film, and you say it quite often, is, "Got this film, but I don't remember much about it." Now that's fair enough. You may not remember much about it. Maybe having only just taken it out, you may not remember much about it. And that's what Malcolm means. If you review several films in the same video, then you'll have a little bit to say about each of the films, and it'll be a better video in the whole.
Yeah.
And you watch, if you did that, people would enjoy that a lot, and you'd probably get more subscribers from it.
That means I have to watch them all over again then as well before I actually sit
Well
back.
then, James, remember the key words to having a channel. Put effort into it. Watch a film, watch them, write things down about them as well. So if you write things down about them on a piece of paper, when you put one down, you can look at that bit of paper as you're going to bring the next one up. There's a lot of ways of doing this stuff, which you need to really think about and do. You know, because, you know, you've got like 700 odd subscribers.
I was just about to say you're very close to 1,000 subscribers, James. You're closer than you think. And the more subscribers you get, the more people are going to come to your channel. Because every time someone comes to your channel, clicks like, or even comes to your channel, it shapes your YouTube statistics in that fashion, and shifts your video up the search statistics and algorithm. So the more people that come to your channel, the more popular your channel is going to get. And eventually you're going to get to the point where there's going to be more than just the people you recognise saying your reviews are bad. And it's going to start grating upon you. And that's what we're trying to avoid from you, James. Is we know full well in, you know, say a few months' time or a year's time when you reach 1,000 subscribers, you're going to get a lot more people telling you you're shit. And you're going to take that to heart. Whereas if now, when you're on the cusp of that happening, you change your what's the word, the way you do things up a bit, that will better help you in the future. We're not having a go.
Basically, James, you've got to sell the product the way you can. Alright? If you can't do it a certain way, you do it the way that suits you. That's what we're saying.
Yeah. I mean, the thing I keep saying is your channel's called MyDvdReviews. Put a personal spin on it. Your personal spin on it. And that's what keeps people coming back.
The thing is, James, you've got to remember, you've got all these subscribers. I've got, what, 84 at the minute? And I've done, what, 150 reviews? Right? Now, I know it will rise in time. I know it will, because it's always about, there's that point where you just hit and people start subscribing. And it's like they say, you've got to put the hard work in to get that. Now, one of the reasons you've got a lot more subscribers recently is because of the Geeky-Chats. That's one of them. The other one is the vlogs. So you need to add in the reviews. And you need to, like we said, with personal touch, but so show. And that will make your channel complete more. Because you'll have the three things that three different people will watch. Because some people don't watch the Geeky-Chat, some people don't watch the vlogs. Some watch both, but not the others. So if you do the reviews, and you do it the way like we've suggested, you will get more people watching. And that's what you need. Otherwise, there's no point having a YouTube account.
Well, I assume at some point you've actually said to me you want to review the Hellraiser films that you've recently watched with Nick. But you said to me you want to go back and review a film you watched 2 weeks ago first, before you review Hellraiser. But you've only just watched Hellraiser. Surely that's the more preferable film to review because you've just watched it. Is what I'm trying to say.
The thing is, it would be easy for you to review those three in one video because they're very similar. They have a similar thing.
When he said to me on Skype, I was thinking, what?
Yeah, there's a lot of different things going on in those, though, in the sequels.
What's that?
In the sequels, there's a lot of different things going on.
That's why you write on the pad, James, and look at it while you're doing the reviews. People ain't going to care if you're looking down at the thing, because you look down in every video anyway. So if you do that, then you can just read a little bit about it. You know? But anyway.
Yeah.
You've seen all three of the Hellraisers now. Or just the first two for now, James?
The first three, I need to see. There's about 7 in there more.
Yeah, I think there is, actually. There's a new one in development.
8 of them. There's
a new one coming out. I think it's called Hellraiser Origins, I think. I don't know. I've seen trailers for it, but I'm not sure if they're real or not, to be honest. Are you upset, James? Because you look a little bit iffed.
Nah, no bit.
Why?
I don't know.
Why would you be a little bit iffed?
Because I want to talk about films, and now I'm sort of.
Well, we've explained to you why it would be better for you to do, because you can still talk about films, and it would work out better for you, that's all. I don't know why you get iffed with us, to giving you advice and trying to help you. I really don't.
We're not trying to make you angry or make you miffed. We're trying to help you. Not being funny, James. I don't think you quite realise what's about to happen with.
I didn't talk about movies anymore because I get put off by this.
James, let me say this. Look, what you've got to realise, James, is me, Gareth, and a lot of our people, we care about you a lot, right? When it gets to this point, we get iffed a bit because we're trying to help you, we're trying to be there for you, we're trying to be good friends to you, and you get angry with us to trying to give you advice and trying to be there, and it's just like there's a point where people get to a point where they're like, well, he doesn't give a shit, so why should we? Right? So you need to start realising, James, that we're trying to help you. Otherwise, you're going to start losing the people around you a lot more. People are going to get fed up with the Geeky-Chat. People are going to not want to be in it. People are going to think, well, he doesn't care because you don't bring up subjects in the chat either that much. So you just need to liven things up a bit.
Okay, you just said, James, that your, I suppose, enthusiasm for movie reviewing has waned a bit. Why is that? Apart from what we've just spoken about, you just said that that's possibly a reason, but why has your enthusiasm for doing movie reviews waned a bit?
I knew I was doing the vampire genre quite a bit, and then they sort of faded away, got a bit bored of doing them, and them I really enjoyed reviewing more.
Okay, another suggestion is maybe do what I do. Maybe mention videos or things you've watched in a vlog. So you do a vlog, you've gone out with Nick, you come back home again, you're finishing up the vlog, and just say, you know, like you went to watch Ouija. Rather than saying, oh, I may do a review of it in a couple of weeks' time when I get round to it, tell them right there and then what your opinions of the film are. But you turn around and say, I'm not going to spoil my opinions, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to wait until a couple of weeks' time to review it. In a couple of weeks' time, you'll have forgotten about it. And that's the problem. And that goes for all of us. You know, the best time to review something when you just watched it.
Well, see, this is one of the things. When James was getting pages from like Alex and that, people were asking him on the videos, can you please review these? And James would say, of course I will as soon as I've watched them. And to this day, he hasn't reviewed them because that was like a month or two ago. So then people think that somebody doesn't pay attention to what they want. But you know what I mean? It's like with that about video I did. I said, Pill want it, give me more likes and I'll do more. I've got loads of likes on it, so I'm going to do more. Because one, I encourage people to give the likes, and two, they've encouraged me to do it again.
And I'll ask you this, James. Do you like the packages you receive from people?
Yeah.
I know this is a bit shitty of people, but there's a reason why they're sending you those Blu-rays and DVDs. They want you to
I know the reason. I know the reason, Gareth. I know what you're going to say.
They want you to review them. They want you to talk about them. And if you're going to promise to review them and then don't, you may end up finding these packages come less and less. Now, we don't want that to happen because that's the crux of your channel. These packages, people giving you these DVDs and Blu-rays, is the crux of your channel. We like watching you open up your packages and getting excited because you generally get excited. You pull out the disc and you're like, yeah, cool, you know, I've got this, you know, I've got that. People are sending you them because they want to hear your opinion. I can't remember the film that Alex wanted you to watch. And about three or four geeky chats, he said to you, have you seen that film yet? Have you seen that film yet? And you kept saying no, no, no. You know, and the whole reason why Alex sent you the film was because he wanted you to watch it.
Well, it was like when he had the new poll, and people were saying, watch this film first. And he was going, no, I'll watch these other films and watch that one last. And you just sit there going, it's been recommended. I feel like most of these chats now get to a point where me and the guest attack James about something.
We're not attacking, that's the whole point.
Yeah, but no, I mean,
Oh, yeah, say here.
I think to James, it's attacking. So I get to the point where that's what it feels like, because somebody trying to get us like Alex was doing about the Blu-ray player, Tash about the Halloween chat. He would say like, "Oh, why comes you didn't dress up?" and be a little bit upset about it. She wouldn't go on about like how we do about this and the Blu-ray player and stuff. But that's what it feels like, James. We're all attacking them, I guess.
Is that why you finally went for a Blu-ray player, James? Because you feel pressured into it?
No, I actually wanted to do it now.
But at one point you didn't care. That's the amazing thing. You didn't care, and now it's like you do.
Okay, James, maybe we can try and turn this around to a more
Probably because
positive
there's versions of films that are out on that particular format.
Well, that's what I'm trying to say. Maybe we can turn this around to a positive side of this, and maybe think what finally decided, you know, because from what I understand, Alex, maybe Malcolm, and even I've spoken to you about Blu-ray in the past, and you've given a very, as Malcolm just said, stubborn view on Blu-rays, and all of a sudden you've sort of gone, actually, I do want Blu-rays. So what was it that made you decide to go for a Blu-ray player?
Because the releases that aren't ever going to get a DVD release, and I've started just to realise that now, and that there are versions of things I do want, and that is the reason why I need to upgrade.
And what are they? What are these releases?
I want to get Wolf Cop on Blu-ray. I want to get Ghostbusters 1 and 2 on Blu-ray, because there are special features on those discs that aren't going to ever be on DVD releases.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I was looking on Amazon yesterday at the Nosferatu, the original and the steelbooks on Blu-ray. They look pretty cool.
Alex just said, I ain't sending no more shit.
But that's what James likes, Alex.
So carry on, James.
That's basically it, what I meant saying.
Okay, then what I'm trying to say, have you realised that maybe what Malcolm, Alex, and me were saying is actually truthful?
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say. Well, there we go. We're not trying to have a go at you. We're trying to help you. You know, and that's what I just tried to make you realise by going through all that. Was trying to make you realise that we're trying to help you in the long run. We've known for the past 4 years, or I have anyway, that Blu-ray is a very good format and it's the future. And there's at some point there's going to be a point where there's going to be no DVDs, or they're going to be a packing with Blu-rays, which they already are. But you know, it's become the prime format, and we knew this. You know, we're only trying to help.
I've had Blu-ray since it was released.
I don't think I had Blu-ray when it first was released, because we didn't have a high definition telly.
Yeah.
I actually went round to a friend's house, or a friend of the family's house, and played not Call of Duty, Gears of War on the 360 on a high definition telly.
Beautiful.
It was good, because I had a 360 on a standard def telly.
Yeah.
It was good, and it had a surround sound system. It was epic, and that caused my dad to want to get our first HD telly, which is actually behind me.
Well, it's funny because I had Blu-rays. I had about 400 Blu-rays.
Yeah.
Before I even had HD TV, because I was like, I'll buy these before the thing, because that way I'll have them ready.
Yeah.
And I actually got the HD TV maybe a year later.
Mm-hmm.
But I had plenty to watch on it, so it was like, it was worth it, you know?
Yeah. And then our first Blu-ray player was actually my PS3, believe it or not. And a couple of years later, I got an inheritance from my grandma and bought an actual standalone Blu-ray player attached up to a HD telly, and that was our first standalone Blu-ray player.
Most people, I think that's why they're in them in the first place, like the Xbox Ones and the PS4s, because people won't buy them any other way.
Nope.
So
for a long time, the PS3 was the cheapest Blu-ray player you could buy, actually.
Yeah, that's what I mean, you know. And a lot of people won't buy anything else. So it does work, and it gives Sony a lot more money. Well, Microsoft as well now, but you know.
What are you looking forward to most to Blu-ray, James?
It's Ghostbusters 2.
No, sorry. What are you looking forward to most in the format?
Ooh, well, I have this plan that I'm gonna take my laptop into my, near where the TV is, and see how different it is. Because I've never had Blu-ray before, so I want to see how the difference is between the two.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah.
one thing.
It's like put the DVD on the computer, put the Blu-ray on the TV, and sort of have it simultaneously playing like at the same time, just to see how different it is.
You know what you should do? You should put VHS in as well beside the laptop, and then you could.
Oh, I did that.
My mum's got that. My mum's got the VHS.
And then,
Yeah.
and then you can do a video. Go, look how bad the quality is of the VHS and the DVD compared to the Blu-ray.
I don't know the reaction you're going to have, but if you can, I'd like you to record it. Because for ages, I've seen all the people close to me, my mum, my sister, I've seen them look at Blu-ray for the first time, and literally their jaws hit the ground. It's when you see Blu-ray in the proper quality for the first time, it is jaw-dropping.
One of the problems for James is he hasn't got a full HD TV.
Yeah, I have.
No, you haven't. You've got HD Ready. It's different.
But wouldn't that with a Blu-ray player make it right?
Oh, it looked nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, full HD is obviously a bigger improvement than HD Ready.
I mean, this telly that I own is, I think that's HD ready. You can only go up to 1080i. The one in the front, which is a plasma telly, which is far better quality, you stick a Blu-ray on that, and flipping it, does it look good? But different tellies, do different things. But
When I buy a TV, I always make sure it's full HD and always look at the quality.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, picture's the important part. Watching the Blu-ray, obviously.
Obviously.
And the same for games. I don't want to play a game and it not look as good as it can be.
Yep.
But still, James, your TV would still look good.
Oh yeah, Blu-ray is definitely an improvement.
Okay.
So I gather from that you're looking forward to seeing the quality comparison between DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
It'd be interesting to hear your thoughts on it, because I remember the video you made about how you never wanted a Blu-ray, so it'd be interesting hearing your thoughts on what you think of it. What you should do is at the beginning of the video, you should go, originally I didn't want a Blu-ray, but now after watching it, then you can say your views on it. Then people will go, this guy was stubborn, he didn't want it, but now he's want one, it's changed his opinion, and he's opened up to a whole new universe, per se.
I have to say that would actually be a good video to do, because there are some people out there still to this day that are stubborn about Blu-ray, and they're just
Isn't that right, Adam?
they're still stubborn about Blu-ray. And I just wish I could stick them to a Clockwork Orange, for those of you that actually know what actual Clockwork Orange is.
Yeah.
And force them to watch a Blu-ray, and they go, that's the quality. But yeah. Obviously, I'm joking, but yeah.
Anyway, we better start thinking about saying bye now, anyway.
Is it that time? Oh, yes, it is.
Yeah. Time goes quick.
Go on, James.
Come on, I got to end it. You need to go first.
Yeah, but you got to
You
say
have
that.
to introduce it. It's your show.
So I'm a bit out of it now. So this is it until Wednesday now, guys. Gareth is our guest, so he can go first, and then Malcolm, and then I'll end up, and we'll see you again next week with Tash on Wednesday, I believe it is again.
Once again, guys, thank you very much for questions and answers, although we've been doing the answering. Thank you once again to Malcolm and James, as always. I always enjoy these chats. Once again, sorry to James, but we are trying to help. But no, thank you very much. I always enjoy these chats.
Okay.
Okay, guys. Thanks for watching, Adam, Alex, and Kelly. When you watch later, unless you were watching right now and you didn't comment. Either way, hello, Kelly, and hello to Last Avenger.
Yes, hello.
And thanks everybody for asking the questions, and thanks for commenting. Thanks to James for having another chat. It was always fun. It was nice having Gareth in here because it's always good to have a nice intellectual conversation. And yeah, thanks for everybody involved. And I'd like to just give everybody my heart and say thank you for sticking with the chat. Thanks, guys.
Right. Until Wednesday, goodbye and take care.
Oh yeah, here we go.